Hello and welcome to St. Andrew Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is online lecture series. I am Rohit Raj from Civil Engineering Department. We are discussing geometrics and aerial surveying, which is included in your fourth semester curriculum. This is third lecture in the series, and today we are going to discuss strength of figure. Before that, we'll continue from our previous lecture, that is triangulation and triliteration. We have seen what is triangulation and what a triliteration. Okay, so we'll start with the difference between triangulation and triliteration. So let's begin. The very first difference is that the angles are measured in triangulation. All angles are measured in triangulation and all sides are measured in triliteration. So this term angles, okay, this term angles in triangulation and sides in triliteration. You have to keep this in mind. Okay, second point is distance of baseline. Distance of baseline is measured in triangulation and azimuth of initial line. Okay, azimuth of initial line is measured in triliteration. Okay, and for check purpose, some distances are also measured apart from baseline to just check. Okay. Similarly, some azimuths are measured for cross-checking purposes. Okay. Now, this point is important. This should be 4 here. Okay. So this point is important. That is, intervisibility between the station is essential. Where in case of triangulation, but in case of triliteration, visibility may not be essential for small areas where distance can be measured of invisible stations also by some lateral means. Okay, so this point is really important. In case of triangulation, it is essential to have intervisibility between two stations, but for small areas in triliteration it is not necessary. Okay, now other point is there are more internal checks in comparison with triliteration. Okay, so in case of triangulation the internal cross checks are more in compare with triliteration. Okay, there are less internal checks in triliteration. Okay, the side length are computed on the basis of measured angle applying sine law. Okay, so here in case of triangulation we use sine law. Okay, sine law for the calculation of side length. Okay, we discussed earlier that how it is calculated using the angles. We know the distance of baseline and then we use the trigonometric relations to calculate the other distances. Okay, so for that purpose we use a definite trigonometric relation, that is sine law. We have already discussed that. Okay, so and in case of triliteration the angles are computed on the basis of cosine law. This one, cosine law, is used for the calculation of angles once we have calculated the side length of the triangle. Okay, now we are classifying triangulation on the basis of quality. Okay, quality, accuracy, okay, accuracy and purpose. Okay, we will classify triangulation on the basis of quality, accuracy and purpose. Okay, so first classification, first is primary, okay, or first order, second is secondary or second order, and third is tertiary or third order. Okay. Now, what is basic difference in all them we'll discuss. Okay. First of all, primary is the highest grade of triangulation system, means it is the most accurate. Okay. And this set of triangulation is preferred for stations generally 16 to 150 kilometer apart. Okay. This is the range between two stations and they must be intervisible as we have discussed earlier. So they can be used for 16 to 150 kilometer apart. Okay. And every possible precaution is taken in making linear, angular and astronomical observation. Okay. We make every possible precautions to minimize the error, to reduce the fluctuations of values. Okay. So coming to second order triangulation. Second order triangulation consists of number of fixed points within the framework of primary triangulation. Basically, when we have some errors in our primary triangulation, that leads to secondary or second order triangulation. Okay, so in the framework of primary triangulation, number of fixed points includes in secondary triangulation. Okay, control points are closer than that of primary. Okay, so here the control points are closer. Okay, and similarly in case of third order triangulation, the control point lies between primary and secondary. Okay, we'll see this. Here you can see the different characteristics of all of them, the first order, second order and third order. First of all, length of baseline. This one is important for your exams also. They may ask, and I think they have there is it has been asked earlier papers also, so you need to remember this. Okay, keep them in mind. You can make notes by your own by yourselves. Oh, first property is length of baseline, and this must lie between 8 to 12 for first order. Second order it should be 2 to 5, and third order is 100 to 500 meter. So you can see the clear difference between them. It is 8 to 12. Okay, and it's just half or less than half. Okay, 2 to 5, and again it's more than one fourth of less than one fourth of second order. So you can clearly see the difference between them. It's 8 to 12, then 8 to 12, 2 to 5, and 100 to 500 meter. That is 0.1 to zero point 0.5. Okay. Now, second characteristic is that length of sides, it should be in between 16 to 150, 10 to 25, and here 2 to 10. Now, the third point, that is average triangular error. Okay. What is the possible error that is allowed in case of first order triangulation, second order triangulation, and third order triangulation? Okay, so in first order triangulation, the error may be allowed, or that is permissible, is 1 degree. Okay, sorry, it's 1 minute. No, sorry, it's 1 degree, it's 3 degree, and it's 12 degree. Okay. Okay, it's 1 second, 3 second, and 12 second. Okay, so average triangular error allowed is less than 1 second in first order triangulation, 3 second in second order triangulation, and 12 second in third order triangulation. Okay, it's not degree, it's second. Okay, maximum station closure not more than 3 degree, 3 second. Here in second order it's 8 seconds. and in third order it's 15 seconds. What is station closure? Okay, now as we have studied in our survey 1, that is closing error. Whenever we have a closed traverse, then the point should whenever we are having a closed traverse, then the starting point and the last point of the traverse should coincide exactly. But if it doesn't coincide, then that error is called closing error. So here also the maximum station closure shall not exceed 3 seconds in first order, 8 seconds in second order, and 15 seconds in third order triangulation. Okay. Similarly, the average triangular errors shall not exceed than 1 second in first order, 3 seconds in second order, and 12 seconds in third order. Okay. And the error allowed in measurement of base is 1 in 50,000 in first order, and in second order 1 in 25,000, and in third order 1 in 10,000. Means if we are measuring a distance of 50,000, suppose it is meter, then 1 meter error is allowed in case of first order triangulation. And similarly, if we are having second order triangulation and if we have a measurement of 25,000 meter, that is 25 kilometer, then 1 meter of error is allowed in second order triangulation. And similarly, in case of third order triangulation, if we have a measurement of 10 kilometers, then 1 meter of error is allowed. So probable error of base. Okay, this one is same of that. Okay, but actual error of base is important. This you need to remember. Okay, now another important point that you have to remember is that probable error in azimuth, that is zero point 0.5 seconds in primary order triangulation, 5 seconds in second order, and 10 seconds in third order triangulation. Okay, we all know that in triangulation, the azimuths are essential part, because with the help of azimuths, we'll calculate the side lengths of the remaining sides of triangle. Okay, so this much we have to remember, or we have to keep this in mind. And whenever an examiner asks that classify the different type of triangulations, then we'll write all of them. Or if they ask only that what is triangulation, still you have to include in your writings them. Okay, first order, second order, and third order triangulation is part of triangulation purpose. Okay, now we'll proceed to next topic, that is strength of figures. And before that, we need to know why do we calculate strength of figures. Basically, strength of figures is part of finding a well-conditioned triangle. Okay, and what is well-conditioned triangle? Basically, any error in angular measurement has a minimum effect upon a computed length. Okay, when a triangle is well conditioned, then any error in angular measurement, that is any error while measuring the azimuths, will lead to minimum error acted upon the lens. Means that it will cause minimum error to the sides that have been calculated using that azimuths or that angles. Therefore, we have to choose such triangles that will lead to minimum error in case of any error in angular measurement, that will lead to minimum error in the computation of lengths. Okay, we have studied that we'll calculate length of sides in case of triangulation with the help of azimuths. So therefore, if there is some error in angular measurement, okay, if there is some error in angular measurement, then the error in the computed length will be due to this. Okay, there will be an error in computed length due to the error in angular measurements. And this error we have to minimize. Okay, therefore we'll choose such triangles that leads to minimum error due to the error in angular measurements. Okay, and that specific triangles are said to be well-conditioned triangle. Okay, to ensure that two sides of any triangle are equally affected, these should be therefore equal in length. Okay, now if we have to ensure that both the sides, that we have to find out as one side will measure in triangulation also, that is baseline. Okay, so if we are calculating other two sides using the angular measurements, then having the effect of error in angular measurements will divide them equally in both sides by keeping the length of these sides equal. Okay, equal in length. Okay, so if these are equal in length, so the error due to the angular measurements, the error will be equally divided among them. Okay, so this condition suggests that a triangle must be an isosceles. Okay, means the two sides that we need to find out, they must be equal. Okay, for that it should be an isosceles triangle where two sides are equal. Best shape for an isosceles triangle is that a triangle whose base angles are 56 degree, 14 minute each. Okay, this is a specific condition when an isosceles triangle with having both base angles of measurement, that is 56 degree and 14 minute. You can easily calculate that what is the measurement, what would be the measurement of the third angle. Here you can subtract the two times this angle from 180 degree and you will easily find the third angle, which would be around 70 degree, less than that. Okay, also equilateral triangles. In case of equilateral triangles, the angles having less than 30 degree or more than 120 degree is not considered to be a well conditioned triangle. Okay, equilateral triangle is always a well conditioned triangle because in this case each angles and each sides have equal measurements. But for a triangle having measurements, angle measurement of angles less than 30 degree, okay, then that should not be said to be a well conditioned triangle. Okay, well conditioned triangle must have angles less than must not have angles less than 30 degree or more than 120 degree. Okay, both of these relations are quite comparable. If some angle is more than 120 degree, then other two angles must be less than one of them must be less than 30 degree. It's obvious. Okay, if we have one angle more than 120 degree, then there is a chance that one or more angles may be less than 30 degree. Okay, therefore these conditions you have to keep in mind, that any angle should not be less than 30 degree or more than 120 degree. An equilateral triangle is well conditioned triangle, and for an isosceles triangle the base angle should be 56 degree 14 minute. Now let's come to topic strength of figure. Okay, basically strength of figures gives us idea about the triangle is being well conditioned or not. Is it well conditioned triangle or not? Okay, in case of triangles. But if there is any figure which is having more than three sides, that is any polygon, then also the concept can be used. Okay, factor to be considered in establishing a triangulation system to maintain the computations within a desired limit, within a desired limit, within a desired degree of precision. Okay, if we have to maintain certain precision in our work, then we need to find out the strength of figure while triangulation system. Okay, now computations in triangulation involve the use of angles of triangles and length of one side. Yes, we have studied this earlier, that use of angles of triangles and length of one known side. Other two sides are computed by sine law. Yes, other two sides are computed using the sine law. A given change in the angles, the sine of small angles change more rapidly than those of large angles. Okay, now you just try to remember basic properties of sine. Uh, that is, for smaller values, it has more fluctuations in the values as compared to larger values. Therefore, if there is some error in angle measurement, which is when the angle is small, then that can cause more fluctuations in the determination of length of side using sine law. Okay, therefore we will not prefer angles less than 30 degree. Okay, will not prefer angles less than 30 degree. Now we can see an equation written over here, that is L square is equals to 4 divided by 3 d square r. What is this? This is basically the error involved during a triangulation step. Okay, that is square of probable error that would occur in the sixth place of logarithm of any side. Okay, that is probable error in the length of any sides at the sixth place of logarithm. Okay, sixth place of logarithm, error allowed in the length of side up to sixth place of logarithm in computation. Okay, from any known side and a single chain of triangles. Okay, single chain of triangles. So in short, this is basically the error that would occur. Okay, square of probable error that would occur during the triangulation process, in which we are calculating some length of sides using using one known side and angles. Okay, now what are the terms in that equation L? We are now familiar with this. This is the square of probable error that would come up to the sixth place of logarithm. Okay, now the second term is D. D is basically the probable error of an observed direction of an arc. Okay, D is basically the probable error, okay, of an observed direction. And R is a term which represents the shape of figure. Now, R, for determining R or for calculating the value of, we have a separate equation for that. That is R is equals to D minus C divided by D, and summation of del square A, del square B, and del A del B. If the uh, triangulation is for a single triangle, then this will be only del A, del square A, del square B, and del A, del B if there are a number of triangles in that triangulation process, then this summation would arise. Okay. Now, what are del square A, what are del A and del B? Okay. So basically, del A and del B are the difference per seconds in sixth place of logarithm of sine of the distance angle A, B, and C. Okay. So this is difference per second. Okay, difference per second in the sine of the distance angles of A, B, C. Okay. Also, this would be measured in the sixth place of logarithm. Okay. One thing that each error here is measured in the sixth place of logarithm. Okay. Sixth place of log we measure each error. Here also del A del B, and in case of L square, that is we are calculating the square of probable error, that is also measured in the sixth place of log. Okay. So now we know what is del A and del B. Basically, it is the difference per second in the sine of angles measured A, B, and C. Okay. Now another term is C. C is basically giving the idea of the figure we are using, the figure that we are using in triangulation, and the number of sides observed and number of sides, total number of sides. Basically, the number of geometric conditions and the angles to be satisfied is given by C. Okay. The number of geometric conditions, basically it is dependent upon the geometry of the triangulation figure. Okay. So C is calculated as C is equals to n dash minus s dash plus 1 and n minus 2s plus 3, where n dash is the number of observed lines in both direction, including the known side, and s dash is the number of stations occupied. Similarly, n is the number of total lines, including the number of known side. Okay, it is total number of lines, and s is total number of station. So what is C? Basically, it is giving the idea of, means how many lines are there in total and how many of them we are observing, and similarly how many stations are there and how many of them we are occupying. Okay, so this is totally upon the geometry of the triangulation figure. Okay, so uh, we'll see once what are different terms in strength of determination of strength of figure. Basically, strength of figure is determined for the criteria of well-conditioned triangle. Okay, and we also have seen the different conditions for a specific triangular shapes, that is isosceles triangle and equilateral triangle, and for any triangle that has angle less than 30 degree or more than 120 degree, that is not a well-conditioned triangle. Now we'll see that what are the equation in that is involved. They are basically first square of possible error, that is L square is equals to 4 by 3 D square R. Now what is D and what is R? D is the probable error observed in observed direction. Okay, D is the probable error of an observed direction, and R is a term that represents the shape of figure. Okay, and R can be calculated using D, that is capital D, minus C divided by capital D into del square A, del square B, del A, del B. Here del A, del B and del C are the difference per second in the sine of angles measured A, B and C respectively in the sixth place of logarithm. We'll solve problem of them. We'll solve one example for this. Then you will easily understand how we determine the difference per second in the sixth place of logarithm. Okay. For now, you just remember that it is difference per second in the sign of angles A, B, and C in the sixth place of decimal or sixth place of logarithm. Now, C is the number of geometric conditions. Okay, and C can be determined using n dash minus s dash plus 1 plus n minus 2s plus 3, where n is the number of lines total and n dash is the number of observed lines. Similarly, s is the number of total station and s dash is the number of occupied station. That's it for this lecture. Thank you and feel free to ask any doubt. You can text, WhatsApp or email. Thank you.